Okay. Yeah, I really wasn't trying to look at myself, so I'm gonna put the phone down, okay? And I just want you guys to hear what I have to say. I'm sitting here and I'm waiting on my friend to get off of work. But since I was sitting here, I said I might as well go ahead and make a video and keep current. I wanted to talk about the aftermath of the spirit of violence, okay? And I know that when most people listen to things and they hear about violence, they're thinking about somebody physically attacking them. But violence can be like played out in so many other ways. Usually, it always starts out. Everything starts out in the spiritual realm before the physical. So, when I say the spirit of violence, I mean how people treat you, not just physically, mentally, emotionally. That takes a toll on your life. And when I first moved here, I came here with a solid education. There were jobs around. No one would hire me. People would talk down to me, even though I was a pageant winner, even though I won Miss Indiana. There's like people were so mean to me, or they would downplay what I did, downplay my accomplishments, everything. Although I was qualified for jobs, people would go and not give me the job. It would be so much, and I was like, God, why? And when I started getting more into it, because I was like, maybe I just didn't do everything that I was supposed to do, and that's what I did. I just started working harder. Maybe I should work harder, work harder, work harder, work harder, do everything by the book. And that's what I did. And it still did not work. So I knew it was something spiritual. So I don't want anyone to come on here and think like, okay, well, what the heck is she talking about? Um, yeah. So that's what happened. I had to look at it at another realm. If you've done everything that you possibly could in the right way, in the right manner that it was instructed to you, and people are denying you and giving, and just rejecting you, you're probably suffering from the spirit of violence. And that comes from old thinking habits, which results in passive aggressive anger. If this could not happen, but they see that you're doing it. So, in order to make themselves feel calm and comfortable, then you can't do it. If this person of this background or how they look, you know, if I was told this and I believed it, now I see it's not happening, then, it's something, it creates turmoil. So that's when you see the spirit of violence. You'll see that rejection come up and be like, no, this is what I've been taught. This is why it's going. This is why you can't have this job, and you wonder why. Like, why can't I have this job? It's because probably because the person who was interviewing you was like, it's gonna start conflict because it's not what I thought that it should be. Things should be. Um, and yeah, the spirit of violence was very, very difficult for me, and I didn't overcome it. I didn't get better or get a better job until I dealt with the spirit. I tried to deal with the people, and it got worse. Things got worse because it was like, people around them, well, this person is a nice person. Well, if you're dealing with the spirit and you're trying to attack stuff fleshly, it's not going to work. It's just going to make stuff worse. So, what I had to do is just pray and pray and pray and pray. And God was leading me to other things and showing me things. And it was telling me this is a spirit of violence, and how I had to apply myself. I didn't do what was right. I stopped trying to do what was right physically, in the physical realm, and did what was right spiritually, which was stand in my word, fasting, praying. When people attack me, don't go back and attack them back because that's going to provoke or engage the spirit of violence to continue. Um, and learn when to pull out. Sometimes you can engage the spirit of violence on you if you just stay in a situation or you stay in a relationship, and I'm not saying just uh, a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, kind of relationship. I'm talking about any kind of relationship. You stay in there too long and it's been disrespected. Sometimes you've engaged the spirit of violence, but in order for you to stay, you've given access for the spirit of violence to continue. And that's what I noticed. So I had to cut off things more, like cut off ties, even though it might have been the same, people or the same things, or they had good intentions. Um, you have to look at it as the spirit and not as the person. If this person is operating out of that, and you no longer want that because you want something better, you have to cut yourself off from them, no matter what, how much it takes, um and a lot of people in business understand that, who have successful businesses understand that too. You'll see that if they're not going in the same direction, because the spirit of violence is attacking something that is contrary to what they believe. That's what it is. But you will see them, they will distance themselves. And during this time, during the aftermath, because I was praying and all this, and I started noticing not only me cutting people out of the situation, or removing them so I can get better. Some people were just rejecting me, and I was like, why? And it looked like they had ways to help me, but I later found out that they didn't have. They believed that it happened, but it wasn't with me. They didn't believe that I could do it. I could go so far. I can own my own business. I can go and be successful. I can own a shelter. I can do. They didn't believe that. So, be prepared for that, for the aftermath of violence. Another thing is, when I got out of it and I started getting, jobs and stuff, and getting placements, and, getting my own stuff, like, God was shutting doors where people would just disappear. And you're going to see some people who just don't call you. Don't get frightened. Don't get afraid. Don't know. That means you're growing, you're elevating, you get into another dimension, and they're not able to grasp. Or they might be growing and you're not, And there are sometimes, I had some people who were growing quicker than I was, honest, and they just disappeared. And you'll find that out later if it came out that way, and it's, and you guys are both growing, So, and sometimes you don't know, but yeah, I had that, like, they just disappeared. People would, who used to be there smiling, they're not there anymore, because, like I said, once you were down, you'll see those people. Once you were down, the spirit of violence brings off people to keep you down on this. You think that you're going to be all alone. No, they bring people. The spirit of violence brings people into your life to keep you down, keep you burdened down, and you'll be sitting there and you're like moping, and they're like, oh, well, it's okay. That's that kind of boohoo, instead of, okay, well, we have this problem, let's cry through it, but we need to make resolutions, make plans to get up. That's what the spirit of violence will do. It will cast extra burdens on you. After the spirit of violence has been cast out, you will see other people who will be like, trying to bring you back into that mode of despair and sadness and victimization, because that's what the spirit of violence does. And any spirit you cast out, whether good or bad, will chase you a little bit back again. So be ready. Like, I had to deal with people who wanted to come back into my life, and they was the same way, or they saying, oh, well, you think you're better than me, and I used to get upset. I used to get sad, because it's like, no, we came from the same place, or I came from an even worse place than some of you guys, and that's not it. I just wanted to do something different, and you wanted to do something different, so we're on different paths. Doesn't mean that we're less than, or, anything like that. We're just choosing different paths. But you will get that. So, yeah, be ready. Be ready. Yeah, I don't know why I had that in my head, talking about the spirit of violence, but it just came up. But that was a lot of what I had to do. And I know this channel is about talking about me, or gaining stability to fight against homelessness, but I will be lying to you if I didn't tell you, because they're talking about mental illnesses, and this channel is about, mental illnesses, but I will tell you that every single mental illness that you ever have, that's ever been created, is always dealing with something past or present that has something in the past that has interfered with the present. And when you don't take care of those items, they come and they hunt you, and this is how you get these other things that come up to play. And you're wondering why, since I got rid of, like, you're in a relationship and you're in there with the abusive person, and you got rid of the abusive person, and now you're in this other relationship and you're happy, and 3 months later, and then guess what, you're back in this relationship and this person is worse than the next. That's just because you haven't taken care of what the underlying problem was, which usually deals in the spiritual realm. So, um, deals with habits and stuff like that. If you deal with your habits and you find out, you have a habit or something, then you can change it. That's just like in the spirit. You probably have something around you that you need to get rid of, you know, person, place, or thing. I had to get away from an environment who wasn't encouraging about mental illness. I had to get away from, people because they weren't in the mindset. I had to totally, totally change my whole outlook, again, and understand that there are some people that are evil. There are some people that are, I don't believe evil. There are some people who have limited views on life. We all have limited views, but there are some people that are very near-minded in their thinking and their thinking patterns, and it doesn't make you less than anyone or anything. So, yeah, I had to learn that. So, um, what else with spiritual violence? Um, when you start praying for the spirit of violence, because I really did, this is what I had to do to literally get out of this whole homeless streak, because I would get a job and I would work it, and I mean, people would be attacking me. I would still be working it. They would go and like do crazy stuff, and I had to literally go and pray, like, God, show me what is this. And I started seeing literally like what was going on, and it was literally a spirit of violence, and I had to cast it out. So, um, yeah. Yeah, I don't really, well, it is what it is. I stopped like trying to make things sound cute for everyone else, because it's not this channel is not for everyone, and nor do I want it to be, because if that was the case, I would put it everywhere. This is just for people who have a mind to make things better for themselves and the people that are around them, so um, that's what I'm trying to express and trying to show here, that everything is not people. We always look carnally, we always look at the physical things, and it's how we label people with mental illness too. And sometimes some of those people who are considered mentally ill are not all mentally ill. Like, they have a spirit of violence that is just attacking them, and they haven't dealt with it. Probably not even been just from them. It's probably from their parents, Their parents had this abusive relationship, and that's what they've seen, and they try to be better, but people can see and notice what you're lacking in, and they try to target that, So, yeah, that's how the spirit of violence acts. And then they trickle down and they end up in these abusive relationships, their kids, and that's the whole generational curse. Um, yeah, so um, this is just my viewpoint on it. Hopefully you got something out of it. I'm sure you can, because it's like 12,000 people out here. But hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. And don't give up when you're dealing with the spirit of violence. A lot of things are going to break. You might see relationships break, items break, car breakdown, crazy stuff. You'll probably see a lot of crazy stuff, but don't give up. It will get better. I promise you it will, if you just keep focused and you stay prayed up and you pray about it, and when it comes, you fight. You fight against it, and you don't fight against it, I'm saying physically, you fight against it spiritually. You might have to just, for one, pray about it. But when people come and they have that spirit of violence on them, and they try to provoke you to do stuff, you sometimes have to just shut them down. You shut them down, you turn them away, and you send them on their way, and you be at peace with it. Like, and sometimes the people who have the spirit of violence will shut themselves down and shut you down, because they know, especially people who are who practice the arts, or like occultic and stuff like that. That's a whole nother thing that I'll get into, but they will let you know, if you are covered by God and you are really, protected spiritually. They will stop. They will be very short with you, very blunt. You will see that anger. You be like, why are they saying so angry? Because they know the laws. They know that you're not going to put up with what they're doing. So, yeah, hopefully something I Said or Done will help you on your journey. Stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, and thank you so much.